Welcome back. It's a good thing I got in the habit of doing a test video before I started one of these videos, because today when I did the test video, there was no audio. Once again, some combination of Windows and OBS decided that this microphone wasn't how I wanted my voice to be recorded. That gets pretty frustrating. If you ever do decide to do any of these videos, I highly recommend doing a short test video first each time, and then stopping and playing that video just to make sure it sounds right before you go on to make your main video. Anyway, I've put it off long enough. It's time to play another rapid game on chess.com. Hopefully this screen is cropped correctly. I'm going to click play online. My last video that I played chess was that Blitz video where I did a lot of talking. I'm not going to do that during this rapid game. I'm hesitating, but yeah, I'm going to click 15 plus 10, even if it does take longer. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try to incorporate some of the things I've been learning. I'm not going to resign until my opponent checkmates me. If I go behind, hopefully that won't happen. I'm going to try not to hang any pieces, and I'm going to try to take the pieces that my opponent gives me. Let's just go. Oh, I have the white pieces. Okay, we're going to get a Sicilian defense. I've been playing knight to c3 against that. And then I can put this bishop here since they've opened up that diagonal. We could trade off those bishops, or I can go ahead and push this pawn first in order to put this knight on f3 behind it. Okay. I think I will go ahead and put the knight there and wait and see if they want to pin their knight or bishop over there, how they want to play that. They're hesitating to put that knight on c6. Usually that knight comes out a lot more quickly than this, but so far the opponent isn't making a direct threat on the center. I mean, they're looking at some center squares, but they haven't occupied any yet. Okay, they've pinned the knight there. I can't remember what Stockfish says on this. Should I go ahead and check with this bishop? And then if they block with the knight, I'll take it, and then I can castle after that? Or do they bring their bishop back? If they bring their bishop back, I think I'll take it. They could block with the knight here, be protected by the other knight. But they might block on c. Oh, they brought the bishop back? Okay, well that takes care of that. And I played those quickly because I've been in almost those exact situations before. Now here I'm going to start slowing down and think about where they're going with that. I think I'm okay with the b-pawn protecting that knight. I want to get this bishop out here, I believe. Probably move the rook over at some point so that this pawn won't be hanging when I move that knight. Right, because right now our two knights are in between that bishop and this pawn, but I want that pawn to be defended. Well, now I can move the knight, and I can put it in the center, and we can have a knight trade, but then I end up with doubled pawns. I can put the knight out there, but what's it aiming at, right? I can bring the knight back here to help protect this push and to get out of the way of the c-pawn. I don't think that's bad, right? And maybe at some point I want to get my queen off the back rank to connect my rooks. Okay, both my opponent and I are playing pretty quickly here. I should probably slow down just a little bit. Let's just bump this up one. That blocks the bishop from seeing down here. Okay, can I do anything about that? Not immediately, but I think that's okay. And it might be time to break open here. I have both knights, a bishop and a queen and a pawn defending that square, so I think it's time to start going this way. Okay, they did take it. Well, let's take back. I don't know. Maybe I should have taken back with the bishop, but I think it's good to keep these pawns toward the center there. Okay, where's that knight going? Is it just hoping to get locked in there? Is that the idea? Right, because if I currently make a move to attack the knight in some way, they can just lock it in with this pawn. Or wait, did they just get a pawn? Oh my goodness, I left that pawn undefended. Oh no, they didn't hop into an empty spot. They just got a pawn. That's frustrating. I'm going to push this forward so that they can't lock their knight in there in the center, and then I can attack their knight. Well, maybe not there. Maybe here? No, that's not great either. How can I get at that knight? This way? Nope, not anymore. Well, I can aim for this fork over here. Do you think they'll see that coming? Probably not. I mean, they probably will, but I you know what though? But that blocks my queen from seeing this pawn. Wait, but if they take that pawn, then I get the fork. So I don't think they'll take the pawn. I think they'll do something about the fork. My recording software here has changed shape too. I just realized that. I did update Windows yesterday, and it's changed some things. I really don't like when you update the thing and it makes changes besides whatever it says it was going to change. Okay, they did move their queen, so this isn't going to be effective anymore. But I do need to move the knight now because that pawn's undefended. So should I go ahead and put the knight in there so that my queen is once again defending my e-pawn? I don't know what it will hurt. They still need to move their rook, and that's still protected. And I need to find a way to get at that knight. Maybe this way, maybe this way. I don't know if that's good. Okay, not much I can do about that. I can get my rook on an open file, or should I push this pawn? Should I push this pawn so that my knight can be defended when it comes back? I can go over here because my bishop's protecting that, but the knight's safe where it is, so I need to be thinking about something else. I just don't know what that something else is, other than trying to dislodge this knight here. Is that my best plan, to dislodge that knight? I don't know if it is or not, but I'm going to have to try something to get rid of that guy. And I'm pretty sure I'll take this with my queen, if they take here. They might not. I do like that my knight's a little deeper in their territory than their knight is in mine, except their knight is closer to my king. Oh, they took that pawn. Okay. Which means that knight's hanging. So now they're 2 pawns ahead because I just hung a pawn by keeping my queen from defending that. I had just talked about that. Okay. Well, this knight's free, but then that knight's free too. So should I protect that knight first, but then they get away with this one? I don't think there's anything to be done about that. They're going to get that knight now. Oh, you know what? I could have got that one. Wait, did I just mess up again? No, I couldn't have because my knight was in the way. Okay. But I can do that if they take that knight. I assume that's their plan here, is to take that knight. And then I think I'll just have to move my rook over and give up this pawn too, but maybe just temporarily. Oh, I gave up my bishop. All right, I did that. That happened. Let's go here, which protects the knight and attacks this knight. Oh, wait, they're just going to put a rook behind that, aren't they? No, oh, wow. Okay, I said I wasn't going to resign, but I am going to, because that's ridiculous. Oh, wow. Okay. And I'm positive I was not ahead at this time. That's the reason that I decided not to resign anymore, is because when I did resign and lost a game last year, I was actually ahead or even, but in this one I was way behind. I don't think I just kept hanging pieces. Let's do the game review and see where I went wrong. I felt like at each one of those situations where I gave up a piece, I was focused on something else, and the thing that I was focused on was the wrong thing. And I don't know what it was about the position that was making me focus on the wrong thing, but and my game review isn't actually running. What's going on? It's just spinning here, but not actually progressing. All right, well, my computer says I'm online, and I walked in there to check the modem, and it says it's online. So I don't know what I need to do here. Let's try clicking refresh on this page and see if that does something. We get this game review running. No, that did not do anything. Okay, well, it's going to be even harder to find out what went wrong since the game review won't run. All right, well, I waited a long time for this to run. I think I can get the analysis board to work. However, without the game review, I just won't know what the official total of blunders and whatnot is. So I'm just going to click through here until I find out see where there's a jump there. Oh, the analysis bar isn't even showing up. Okay. I'm guessing that the site itself is having a problem. Wait, this isn't a daily game. This was a live game. Hold on. Yeah, on daily games, you have to go to the analysis board to get the eval bar and this evaluation. But on live games like Rapid and Blitz and whatnot, you don't. You can just exit that out and the lines will show up here. Okay, so I can't get the analysis to run, but we can go through here and see where there's a jump in the eval bar to see where my mistake was. It looks like Stockfish favors E5 or D4 at this point. I'm not sure about D4. It says they would take, and I would take, and then they would not take here. That's what it says. I'm sure they would. I think it briefly crossed my mind, but I can't take there with my knight because my knight's pinned to my queen, and I don't want to lose my queen that early. So if they did take, which I assume they would, I would take with my queen, and then the only thing guarding this is the pawn, and that ends up being my structure. That's exactly what would have happened. And that might be better for me, technically speaking, which is why Stockfish says that's not what they would play. But at my level, that messes up this whole thing. One of the whole points of this was to be able to castle pretty quickly and have this knight with the 2 pawns in front of it. But if instead there's a pawn here, then I can't castle on this side, and my d-pawn's are, missing, and my queen's in the middle where they can immediately attack it. I'm surprised. But bishop to b5 check, which is what I played, is one of the top 4 moves, and it doesn't work out poorly for me. Bringing the bishop back to block is fine for them, and e5 is my best move again. Okay, well, now I could take back with the knight. But it says if I played e5, they would take here. Well, of course they would. And then I would take with my knight, and then they would play knight to d5, and I wouldn't take it with this pawn. Well, let's play the line out, because that's what Stockfish says is best. So let's say I played e5 here. It wasn't good because it gives my opponent an advantage. Was that not e5? Oh my goodness, I was reading it wrong the whole time. e5 is over here. Wow, don't I feel smart? I don't think I considered that at all. I wasn't ready to break this open because I hadn't castled yet. Taking wasn't bad, so I'm going to be okay with taking, which is what I did. Is it still the wrong color? It feels like the color faded on me and never came back. Yeah, sorry, I had to reload the page to get the color to be right because it still looked like it was in, a weird situation there. It still looked like it was in the variation, but we weren't. I had gone back to the regular list of moves, but it was distracting me that the color was wrong. So we got here. It was not bad for me to take, which I did. I still have a very slight advantage. Of course, they take. E5 is okay. E5 is again my best move. It's almost +1. But castling's my second best move, so I didn't lose here. G6 was one of their 2 best moves, and now all those moves changed order several times except for the first one. Queen to E2 was listed as the top move during all the time that I waited for those adjustments to quit being made. I don't know why. It doesn't look like it does anything. I don't need to guard this pawn right now because it's protected by the knight, right? I also don't know why E5's not listed anymore, and it was listed all those other times. Okay, but D3 was my second best move, which did add a defender to that pawn, but that wasn't the point. The point was to get this bishop out. They played their best move, and I am supposed to put the queen on E2 again, or E1, not sure why, or move this rook over now. Okay, I didn't see it just yet, but I did eventually put the rook on. No, it's not on the list anymore. Sorry, I thought it was done adjusting. A4 is my second best move. All right, or bishop to D2, or H3, but not bishop out there. Okay, so how bad was that? Not that bad. We're still even. Okay, my opponent castled, which was their best move, or one of them. Now I'm not supposed to play rook to B1. Okay, well, all those moves are about the same. There might be 5 others after that. I don't know. But A4, queen to E1 again, queen to E2. Put the bishop back here since I didn't move it there in the first place because I didn't know why. H3. Okay, I mean, H3 prevents the knight from coming in here. Is that why I shouldn't have put the bishop here? Because the knight can attack it? I just saw that I was going to want to move this knight at some point, and so I thought I should protect the B pawn. Okay, that didn't turn out to be that bad. All right. A6 is one of their better moves. Knight to E2 was my best move. Okay, I'm not sure why, but my reasoning was to get out of the way of the C pawn. Okay, my opponent played rook to B8, which was not listed as one of their best moves, but it looks like it was just fine. I didn't go far enough with my C pawn. I went to C3, but yeah, it said C4 would have been better. Okay, is that because I should have been anticipating B5? Yeah, because it looks like almost no matter what I do, they're... Oh no, even if I played C4, they would play B5. Oh, right, so it wouldn't prevent it. Okay. It says if I played C4 and they played B5, then I would put the queen behind the C pawn. I'm not sure why. All right, that's not where I lost, though. Now they should... Oh, the reason I should have played C4 is to keep them from playing C4. Apparently. They did not play C4, they played B5, which kept us pretty close to even. Knight to G3, which is here. Okay, that's what I should have played, or queen to C2, king to H1, or H3, or queen to D2. Okay, well, I didn't do that. I played D4, which was bad. Okay, so D4 helped me lose the game. Their best move would have been to take here now, because I gave up this pawn. Okay, that's a mistake because I quit defending the pawn. I get that, I understand. Okay. But that was their second best move, and I'm definitely not supposed to take this with my pawn. I'm supposed to take it with one of the knights. Well, I said I would have a whole bunch of pieces defending that square, knights and bishop and queen, but I should have taken back with all of them except the pawn. The pawn was the worst one to take back with. I thought having a center pawn was a good idea, but it was not. And they took there. That was their best move. Okay, I'm not even down quite -1 yet. Knight to G5 is my best move. And they would just play D5 at that point, and then I would play F5. No, I probably wouldn't because I don't know why. I get here as an attempt, I guess, to trade that off, but then I've got this weird pawn way over there. I guess that helps restrict those 2 squares. But they wouldn't trade it off according to Stockfish. They would just protect their knight, and then I wouldn't take them. Well, if I had gone through all the trouble of putting my knight over there, I probably would have taken them, and then they would have taken here, and then I don't know what. Okay, so I don't understand this position. But I played D5 to keep them from playing D5. And that was, I guess, probably an inaccuracy. It was not their best move to get that knight out there. It kept us around -1. Knight to G5 again. I think here is where I actually said that. Or rook to C1. Queen to D3. It's protected though, isn't it? Well, what I played is not listed there. That's when I decided to go for the fork, which was just hope chess. And at this point, they should have just taken this pawn, because then they would be threatening a fork too. Okay, well, they saw me threatening the fork, so my opponent was thinking more on my level than on the computer's level. They did that, and I should have... Okay, I did play it was my best move to put the knight in there. Okay, but I'm still down -1, and they should have moved it to here, all the way over there, really. Oh no, it's changed its mind. Rook to c8. Rook to b7 was like their 4th best move, but it's okay. And now I have to play rook to c1 to protect it. But instead I was worried about the knight in the middle, and I gave up that front pawn, and it was... Okay, that was it, right there. That's the mistake that lost me the game. I still could have pulled it out if I had just played rook to c1. But here I did not see that they were going to get this pawn, and I was worried about the front knight, and I shouldn't have been. So yeah, they take the front pawn. Okay. Hey, just a little bit after I finished making that video, I did get the game review to run here, and it said my opponent played like a 1650, so again, good job to them, and I played like a 1200, which is pretty close to my actual rating, but I finally did get this to run. My opponent only had one mistake, and that was there in the beginning when they took with that knight. I didn't remember the eval bar jumping when I was running the game review at that point. Oh, it says they should have taken with the other knight. They should have... Okay, well, I wouldn't have done that either. I would have made the same move my opponent made because that develops a piece. But for some reason, that's a mistake. But that's only a mistake if I play e5 now, and they would take it, and I would take it, and then they would have to move that knight back. Oh, because I guess that blocks their queen from defending this? But so would that have. Oh, but then this knight wouldn't be there for the pawn to point at. Okay. But anyway, that was their only mistake. And then I had a series of mistakes here in the middle, starting here. This was a mistake. This was my next move was a mistake as well. Takes us close to -1. And then this was the mistake that put us over -1 for the first time. Okay. My blunder, however, was knight to d2. Because we were still around -1 until I played that. And giving up that one pawn cost me, what, 2.5 points of evaluation here and ended the game. Because it wasn't just giving up the pawn, apparently. It was giving up this, as well as removing the defender of that knight. Okay, so I don't know what the deal was with the game review earlier. Apparently they had to take Stockfish offline for just a second. Or not the whole Stockfish, but the part that ran the game review. But anyway, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.